Hello, it's your boy Big Daddy Do-Bad back at it again with another video. Today, y'all, we're gonna be talking about like neurodivergency and how it like affects me personally. Like me personally, I have both ADHD and autism. The autism part, I'm not diagnosed, but you know, my therapist has like brought it up and makes a lot of sense. Like it puts the puzzle pieces together for me, because there's a lot of things that I do that like growing up, I've always known that I'm like unusual and like not neurotypical, because I would always compare myself to like other people and like the way that I act versus how they act, or the way that I think and me thinking it's weird and then other people thinking it's weird. Like it was hard for me to make friends as a child because I have bad social anxiety and I'm just like socially awkward. Like I can't really have a normal conversation with someone. Like I'll just be like low-key staring at people and like not saying anything. I never have anything really to say on my own. Like right now, for example, I'm just yapping. I can yap on my own and I have a lot to say. Typically I have a lot to say, but I just don't ever know how to express myself. And I'm just really shy. Like I'm just a really shy person. Even as an adult, I still haven't gotten over that. That's something like I'm trying to get myself out of my comfort zone, but it's just really hard to do. Like there's little things that I do even as an adult, and I'll like say words that I made up over and over and over again in my head. It's a weird thing that I do. I hate that I do that, but I would never like ever try to explain that to people because like no one really understands, but I will keep doing that. And like right now I have to touch my forehead with both of my fingers or else it feels weird, like type shit. Or it's like little micro adjustments to make myself feel even, if that makes any sense. And like little things that like feel weird. Like I don't like the way that wet hair, like when you're washing your hair and your hair like shreds and gets stuck to your body, like your wet body. Oh, I hate that, bro. Like, and I have a lot of hair, so when I wash my hair, I dread wash day, bro. When I wash my hair, I shed like a dog and a lot of hair comes out because I just have a lot of hair, and it's always a hairy mess and it's always disgusting. I hate it. I hate touching doorknobs when my hands are wet. Oh my gosh, this is a weird one that people just don't understand. I hate looking at other people brush their teeth and hearing it. I hate hearing the sound, even if I can't hear the sound. Like if I'm watching a YouTube video and the person's brushing their teeth and they just have like music over it and you can't hear the teeth brushing, I can still hear it in my head and I can feel it, and I don't like the texture of it. I don't like hearing people brush their teeth. Like me, it's fine. I am used to myself brushing my own teeth, but other people, I just can't do it. Or another thing I do is when I'm like listening to music in my car, because I literally can't like be in my car without music. Like I just can't. When I'm in my car and I'm listening to music, when I get home, the music has to stop exactly when I get home. So I time it. I'll play this song before I get home, but I will time it so that the song ends as soon as I get home. Otherwise, it feels weird. Like it just feels weird. And or if it doesn't like exactly match up when I get home, I won't get out of the car until the song is finished playing. I guess a lot of my interest growing up kind of makes a lot of sense as to why I am the way that I am. My hyperfixation with Minecraft, like I've been playing this game for so long and I always end up coming back to it. No matter what the circumstance, I always end up coming back to the game. Or like if I get interested in something, I'm like really interested in it, and I make that in my entire personality. Like recently I've been obsessed with Arcane, the show. I've never played League of Legends, by the way, but just the show Arcane, I've just been like so obsessed with, and I drew a picture of Jinx, like a fan art. I'll put it on the screen. I actually really like it, and like I've been wanting to cosplay her, and like I'm just like obsessed with the show Arcane for whatever reason. This is really common for me, because like it takes a lot for me to really like something, and when I like something, I really like that thing. This is also why I have a hard time making connections with people, because I'm not a people person. I actually don't like people. I would rather be by myself. But if I have a specific person that I like, whether it's like friendship or like relationship wise, I really like that person, and like I will always want to talk to that person, and I just like will always be like want to be with that person. Like my first and only relationship that I've ever had, I feel so bad for this man because he was the only person that I've ever experienced anything with. I was like all in on that relationship, and I would like do anything for that man. I was like obsessed. Like another thing about me is like when I'm uninterested in something, I completely don't care about it. So when we broke up, I didn't really feel that much because I was kind of over it. Yeah, this is why I have a hard time with just relationships in general, like friendships, like because I had this one friend and we were cool or whatever, but like I just really didn't like them as a person, so I just completely cut them off, and I wrote them like a big paragraph of why I didn't want to talk to them anymore. anymore. And yeah, like I felt bad, but that I said that to them, but like I really didn't really care that much. That doesn't make me a bad person. I'm an honest person. I will tell someone if I'm really not interested, or like if I'm not interested in their presence, you know. Well, I try to be, at least. I'm also not a confrontational person, so when I really feel something, I will try my hardest to make good memes of that situation, if that makes any sense. What's another thing I've had a hyperfixation with? Just YouTube in general. I've had these moments where like I was like super into like content and making content and just grinding out videos and just like getting out the best possible thing, like videos that I can or whatever, spending so much time editing or whatever. That was a long time ago, by the way. I don't really care as much about YouTube anymore. It's literally like that year that I just didn't post. That was the time like where I was uninterested in something and I completely just cut that part out of my mind, you know. Like when I'm just like really uninterested in something, I just really get uninterested. I was obsessed with drawing at one point. I would draw a lot. I haven't really drew much recently. Like I didn't really draw as much as I used to, but I used to be really into art and like painting. I love painting and I love digital art. I like painting a little bit more. I haven't painted in a while, but that was like one of my interests. Oh my god. Or Five Nights at Freddy's. Don't even get me started, bro. Like I had this like weird freaking obsession with the lore. Oh my god, my whole like thing with Five Nights at Freddy's. So I would like stay up all night researching the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. But mind you, I've never played the actual game. I just watching people play it and just like knowing the lore. Like I was just so into Five Nights at Freddy's, and I would have like bad nightmares about it, a lot of bad stuff, but I was just still like heavily interested in the game and just like interested in the lore. I have a Five Nights at Freddy's poster. I also have a Minecraft poster. These are some of my hyperfixations. Oh, speaking of my posters, I also have an Attack on Titan poster. See, I don't really watch anime, but I probably watched like 3 or 4 like anime shows, and Attack on Titan was one of the first. And bro, like I was so obsessed with like the storyline and just everything, because I watched it with one of my friends and she kind of introduced me to it. But I like found it on TikTok and I was like, okay, everyone's saying this show is good, so I'm gonna watch it. And she's like, let's watch it together. So we watched it together and we were just both going back and forth just talking about like the lore and like if Eren Yeager was actually wrong or if he was right, or like, and we were just talking about war and the world and just crazy. You can't really have those conversations with neurotypical people. Like I was talking to that same friend. We were talking last night for like 4 hours, just talking on Discord about like life and like the world in general, and just like going deep into like space and how it's weird that we humans are so conscious, and talking about like deep subjects. And I feel like these types of things are only things that you would talk about if you are neurodivergent. I feel like these types, like, because people with autism think differently. What's his name? I think Elon Musk has autism, don't quote me on that, but like super smart people, or like just people in general, like people that think differently and have different mindsets and just think differently in general, have autism, like typically have autism, and that's where autism comes from. It's just a different way of thinking, you know. It's nothing bad. It's just a different way of thinking, and that's why it's a spectrum, by the way. Yeah, it's just a spectrum, you know. It just makes a lot of sense. I don't know. Life just hits different. And another thing about like me being neurodivergent is that like I do overthink a lot, like to the point where it's like sometimes I get trapped in my mind and it's really overwhelming and I hate it. Like I hate that I think so much, but like just the little things that I do, I just think so much, and I hate the way that I speak, or I hate the way that I talk, or if I'm talking to someone one-on-one, like in person, I'm constantly thinking the entire conversation, like, okay, am I doing this right? Am I talking weird? Am I doing this weird? Am I holding my hands weird? But this is something I've constantly done within my life, like my lifetime, and a lot of my adult years. I think that way when I have one-on-one conversations with people. I only think that way because I just hated the way that I was when I was younger. I always compare myself to how I was when I was younger. In the back of my mind, I'm just like, am I still that same weird person? Am I doing this the same way? I've come a long way from when I was a child, my social anxiety, than I am now, which is really great. Like I'm very proud of myself, but it's really overwhelming still to constantly have that in the back of my mind, if I'm doing okay or if I'm still the same weird little child that I've always been, you know. It's just really overwhelming, and I really hate thinking about it so much. I wish I could just be like a normal person where I just don't have to think that much about what I'm saying, or like how I'm speaking, or how I'm presenting myself. And neurodivergency isn't just being on the autism spectrum. It also has to do with like, I think ADHD counts as neurodivergency. I have diagnosed ADHD as well, which I was just telling my mom about today. I was like, because I was not feeling good. I was just like I was just out of it. Like I was feeling a little down, like sick type shit. And still I went to get a soda. I like did a bunch of things on my computer, even though I really wanted to lay down. And I was like telling myself, bro, you gotta lay down. But I was just doing a bunch of different things. I have like 50 tabs open right now because I just could not, like, I can't like stick to one thing. And this is why I have a really hard time focusing like in school or doing work. I'm just like always constantly like doing something. Like if I'm editing, I have to listen to music. Music is my number one thing. Like music, I don't know where I would have been without music. Like growing up, being in school, I had a 504 plan and it required me to have my headphones on. Like if the teachers literally couldn't say that I wasn't allowed to have my headphones on, it would be illegal for them to take my headphones away, basically, because it was a part of my 504 plan that I was able to wear headphones, because I could not do anything, bro, without music. Like I can't do anything without music. I'm just really into music and I'm really into the artists that I like. And there's another hyperfixation that I forgot to talk about, XXXTentacion. I was like obsessed. Oh my god, like I literally like, and this is so weird to think about today because I would never do this to another human. Like I was just bawling over his death in a way where if I was like a family member of his. And I think about it now and I'm just like, that's so weird. Like the celebrity obsession is weird, but I actually think that's weird. But like I did that when I was younger, when he passed, and I was just like really devastated because I was just so hyper fixated on like his music and like what the words that he said. And I would watch every single X video and X whatever, and I was just like obsessed. And I don't know, bro, like it's weird. But I do the same thing, but like not with the artists specifically, but I do the same thing with the music that I listen to, like the actual specific songs. I'm just so obsessed with them. I will listen to the same thing over and over and over and over, and I will never get tired of it. And that's the same thing with movies. One of my favorite movies is Coraline, and I've watched that movie so many times, probably recite the entire script. Like just certain things, like I just am so obsessed with. And if I was playing Bed Wars right now, I would not have been able to talk about the things that I've talked about, because if I'm like live playing and like trying to speak and like get my sentences together, it would be really hard to focus on the actual game. That was like one of the things that I challenged with the most, like being a Bed Wars YouTuber, is just like talking and playing at the same time. But you know, you get used to it. And yeah, I guess that's really all that I really wanted to talk about. Let me know if any of you relate to anything that I've said in this video, or if you have any comments, please put them down below. And also drop a like, because if you do, you're pretty swag. All right, that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching this video. Bye.